Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is the T28 Prototype. This is an American Tier 8 tank destroyer, and the map is Mannerheim Line, which is also known as Arctic region. Because this tank is slow, you don't want to go driving all over the map. You want to find a spot where you can shoot. I decided to go up to this sniping position. If I love to go south, directly south, to the big battle area. Everyone's afraid of going there. I love going over there. I have a great strategy that works out really well. I got a lot of good shots on this game. This tank can be a fun tank if you learn how to play it. And this map is a little frustrating because they added a lot of rocks that weren't there perhaps 2 years ago. But as you can see, before it was more open, and you could take lots of shots at tanks driving across, but now you can't. They put in more defense. And if you look at the A4 position, one day when I was like playing a low tier, like tier 4, when first couple of weeks I was playing, I was sitting up there, and off in the distance I saw these tanks driving across just like what's happening right here. And I was in love with the game. I was like, oh my god, this is so awesome. There's all these tanks that I was shooting at off in the distance. I didn't know I was shooting at them. You want to get these shots in as much as you can, and use your premium rounds if you have them, because some of these tanks have really strong armor. Unfortunately, they didn't go far enough back for me to nail them. I was looking to get some shots in, but it didn't quite work out. And these guys are all hiding behind something, so I didn't get any shots. I didn't get a lot of shots in at the beginning of the game. But I was monitoring these tanks. I was spotting them, keeping an eye on them. And I'm going to play a more important role towards the end of the game, because I actually think that I might be the last tank left in this game. I don't remember. You can see I missed a shot on that guy. When you get spotted, you have to hide. You got to hide from artillery, and artillery is going to go after this tank because they know it's a slow-moving tank. So you're an easy target. And if you're up here, people know that if you're up here, you're going to be up here for a while. So they're going to keep looking for you. Like that tank over there, I keep looking in that spot for a shot on him. If you watch my videos, you'll know that I'm a very aggressive player, and I'm usually on the front lines, pressing the enemy, chasing him down. However, with this tank, it's a little bit more difficult to do that, especially on this map, and because I'm a lower tier tank. But you can see here I got a really great opportunity, although I don't think I got a shot on him. I'm going to advance it a little, see how things go. Okay, now what's going to happen now is the enemy wins on the east side. So they're going to start advancing. However, I'm going to hold them back. And I'm going to hold them back as long as I can. And I made a few stupid moves. And one of the issues you have to have when you play on a hill with a slow tank is whether you face going up the hill or going down the hill. And the reason why is because you want to have the power to make it up that hill. And if you're facing backwards on the hill, it's going to be difficult to climb the hill. So you want to, as often as possible, be facing forward up a hill when you need to climb the hill, which I need to do to get behind that rock that's right in front of me. Now, the enemy tanks, unfortunately, are going to have a lot of difficulty making it, cresting over that hill. I'm going to stop them. I'm going to get lots of hits on them, and you can see there was one right there, 427 damage. What you'll notice is that my ally, I'm going to rewind it, he is in a bad position, unfortunately. If you notice that tank, I know it's an American tank, I don't know which one it is, M103. So the M103 his entire tank is exposed. But if you look to his right, there's a little dip, which is basically right there. So if he's in this dip, only his gun is exposed. It's better for him to be low as opposed to being where he is. It's not the most horrible position because the tanks have to crest the hill, but it's better, even if he gets right here behind these rocks, it gives him a little bit of additional protection. And unfortunately, he didn't do that, although it looks like he was trying to head backwards. The other thing you'll notice is that he's not angling properly. You want to have your gun pointed right over the corner of your tank, but he has it pointed directly over the front of his tank. If you have it pointed over the corner, you get what they call angling or side scraping. So the shot coming in is always going to hit at an angle. When you have it over the front of the tank, there's no angle, which means it increases the chance it's going to do damage. So that's why you use the auto aim. I would actually be driving, looking down at my tank like this while I'm driving. I would get a view like this so that I can see the enemy tank and see my gun. So while I'm driving away, I'm using the auto aim locked on the enemy tank, and I'm always making sure that the gun is over the corner of the tank. That's why my tank is in that position right now. So if anybody hits that lower hull from in front of me, they increase the chance of getting a ricochet. So he's down to 9%. There's that, looks like a T30. Now here's an example where I'm reversing up the hill. Note the angle of my gun. See if I can get it. You'll note that I'm playing to try and get the gun as close to the corner of the tank as possible in order to get the best angle. So you have to use it. It helps to use the auto aim to do that. Right now I'm not moving my tank, but let's look at the angle of my gun. It's not perfect, but it's actually pretty good. So you'll see he's down to 12%. I'm going to be taking shots at him. Unfortunately, it's not going to work out. I'm using my premium rounds because I want to nail his frontal armor. I'm using the method of reversing and going forward to keep the angle the same. It's not the best angle, but it's a pretty good angle. Okay, so it looks like there's 2 tank destroyers there, and I probably didn't notice it at the time, and that's why I was, or maybe I did notice it. So obviously you're going to shoot and move away, and then when your gun is halfway reloaded, you're going to move back into position. And you have to check to see if there's artillery. There's no artillery in the game. So right now you have 2 concerns. Regardless of the people in front of you, you have to worry about artillery, but the artillery's gone, so I'm not concerned about artillery. So my second concern is that the enemy tanks know where I am, and they're eventually going to swarm on me. The question is when. That's why you have to count the dots on the map. There's at least 4 dots on the map, so I know where 4 of the tanks are, and the other 4 I don't know where they are. There's 2 in the southeast and 2 in the southwest. He tried a different position, it didn't work. You notice I switched to the high explosive rounds, halfway loaded. I'm going to start going forward again. And I dipped back to try and I went forward and backwards to try and trick him into firing. It didn't work. I think he must have repositioned, maybe because he thought he would get a better shot on me. But my days were numbered in this game, and I just wanted to show you the strategy. My videos are about the strategy that I use while I'm playing. It's not about how many kills you get. So that's a little bit about the strategy for this particular game. It wasn't a great game, but it was an interesting game because I was one of the last players, and it shows the style of playing this type of tank. Okay, so if you have any questions or comments, please